webinar in our series with Petrea from Quest for Life Foundation. Today's session is going to be a meditation session, which is kind of exciting, really. I never thought that I would be able to learn to meditate, but when I attended a Healing Your Life retreat at Quest, I managed to crack it. So just before we start, shut down all your browsers and do all your housekeeping. A reminder that if you have any feedback or questions, please email them through to us. And if you are out there, could you please type yes into the chat box so that we know that you're there. And I'll hand over to Petrea. Thanks again for being with us, Petrea, and thank you so much for being here for all 4 sessions.
Hi Liz, it's my pleasure, and thank you so much to you and to Red Arc for making it possible for us to connect with our audience. So hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar. Just recapping, in the first webinar we discussed some simple tools to bring yourself more into the present moment. So I hope you've begun to experience the benefits of being more present in each moment, and that you have a greater awareness of how easily the mind can slip into the future or into the past. And more importantly, that you have the capacity to bring your mind to rest. We're going to talk more about that today. In the second webinar, we discussed how changing the words we use can have a profound impact on our communications. And last week, we talked about replenishing ourselves so that we're less reactive to the people and situations in our lives. You can revisit these webinars on our website at any time to refresh your memory. And feel free to direct any of your friends or colleagues to those webinars too, so that they can benefit from all 4 webinars. Today I want to talk about mindfulness and meditation. When we use these skills on a daily basis, all the information in the 3 earlier webinars is much easier to implement. Over 3,000 research papers have confirmed the value of meditation, and yet so often we resist making time to practice, or we think it's too difficult for us to be able to still the mind. For me, it's like taking a daily bath in the great silence that exists beyond all activity, all thought, all form and time. The practice of sitting in stillness is the foundation of happiness, resilience and peace of mind. Establishing a simple and effective practice enables us to live with greater clarity, presence and insight, and today we'll share in a short practice so that you can experience really just how simple it is. As Peter Russell, one of my favourite authors, says, nothing has to be achieved in order to be at peace. All we have to do is stop doing, stop wanting things to be different, stop worrying, stop getting upset when things don't go as we would wish or when people don't behave as we think they should. When we stop doing all the things that obscure the peace that is there at our call, we find that what we've been seeking has been there, waiting silently for us. So, before we have a short practice together, here are some thoughts about meditation and living mindfully. Meditation really can become a way of life, not just a formal practice once, twice or more a day. We can live each moment of our lives consciously aware of all that surrounds and is within us. And from this inner stability, this inner quiet, we can respond moment by moment to life's encounters and life's challenges. We don't meditate so that we become fabulous meditators. We meditate so that we're more easily able to liberate ourselves from judgments, attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, limitations, or patterns that keep us bound to the past. And because it helps us to become much more skillful at living in the present. Human endeavour and achievement is often brought about through struggle, through strain, through tension, whereas in meditation we relax into a deeper sense of ourselves. And it's really the process of unlearning, of letting go false identities, all the accumulated information and labels we've gathered about ourselves. The regular practice of meditation gives us greater presence of mind. With presence of mind comes the possibility of choice, As I spoke of in an earlier webinar, we continue to react to the events of our lives from our unprocessed emotional history, or we can make a more appropriate response. Until we are present, aware, awake, we don't see the choice. We just simply react. It's liberating when we react less to events in our lives and have a greater ability to respond to them instead. When the mind is quiet, we have access to our creativity, intuition, insight, wisdom, humour, spontaneity, and a whole lot more. As we discussed in the first webinar, whilst your mind is often absorbed in the future or in the past, your body is always in the present. And one of the most effective ways of bringing your mind to rest is simply to focus on the senses of your body. So let's do a simple practice together now. You might like to close your eyes for this practice, or you can leave them open if you prefer. And let's begin just by taking a couple of long, slow, deep breaths. You might like to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like a long sigh. As you breathe out, feel your body soften and relax. Just become aware of your weight and posture, aware of the pressure of the chair supporting your body, the floor beneath your feet, or whatever your body might be in contact with. Become aware of the space between your feet and the floor, aware of the touch of your clothing against your skin. Notice its texture, the temperature that your clothing helps create. Notice how your clothing moves against your skin as you breathe. Feel the soft touch of air against your hands, your cheeks. Become aware of all of the sounds within and outside the space you're in. Not judging or labeling or resisting anything, simply allowing every sound to be heard, to come, to pass. Let your listening travel right out until you hear the silence beyond all sound, until you hear the clouds passing. Your body at ease, letting any sensations come to pass. Your mind at ease, letting any thoughts come to pass. Letting any feelings come to pass. Holding on to nothing. Holding on to no thing. Aware of the breath, simply noticing the inward and outward breath. Noticing the sensations of the inward and outward breath. Perhaps you're breathing in more through one nostril than the other. Notice the difference in temperature between the inward and outward breath as the air is warmed by your body. Good. It's not a challenging or difficult process. It's simply about coming back to the world of what is, because the mind has a tendency to take us into the future, into the world of what isn't, or into the past which we can't change. In time, meditation enables us to live more by our intuition, that inner sense of how to be, what to do, where to go, when to speak, when to reach out and touch, when not to, when to stay silent, when to use humour, stay with the anguish, say nothing, or speak. Intuition really is our greatest guide for living skillfully. In meditation, as the mind begins to quieten and becomes more peaceful, so your body relaxes. Meditation is the state of simply being. It has no religious connections or context, though it may be a profoundly spiritual experience. We see the benefits of meditation in our lives through increased clarity and joy, spontaneity. Our creativity increases. We have greater access to wisdom, to compassion, to our own sense of confidence, our vitality and humour. One of the most powerful tools for change is meditation. There are many techniques that different people promote. Some believe theirs is the best or the highest, but the best technique is the one that works for you. There is no right technique, no higher or lower technique, nor is there one teacher. There are as many techniques and teachers as there are people. Allow yourself the freedom to find the right technique, the right teacher for you. The technique isn't meditation, it's the tool we use to lead us into the state of meditation. And avoid falling into the trap of believing that meditation is difficult or requires long practice to become effective. Quite quickly, you'll begin to experience the benefits of living more mindfully. You'll notice a certain calmness in your attitude. Things that used to distress you become less consequential as you begin to see that everything is unfolding in its own perfect way. Your memory will improve, your powers of concentration will heighten, and you'll find you're more able to accomplish far more in your day than you ever thought possible. You may find you need less sleep, because 10 minutes of meditation is the equivalent of 2 hours of deep sleep. You'll find your sense of humour returning in full force, as will your spontaneity and creativity, and increased confidence in yourself. If meditation is to prove valuable in your life, you need to give it the priority it deserves. You'll never find time to meditate. You need to make time. And we discussed this in an earlier webinar too, about managing our time. It's preferable to practice meditation sitting comfortably upright in a chair or on the floor, because there's a tendency to fall asleep if you lie down and focus on relaxing. If you're seeking to set aside formal times for meditation, the very best times of the day are at sunrise and sunset, but don't let that stop you from just practicing it in every moment by coming to your senses. Functional MRIs clearly show the biological changes that occur in people that meditate regularly. Meditation enables the brain to literally rewire itself in positive ways, and negative patterns of emotional reaction diminish. This demonstrates that it's not only the physical body that has a natural tendency to heal. Our brain is likewise designed to heal and relinquish unuseful patterns that are not born of our essential nature. This is particularly important for people who have experienced post-traumatic stress disorder. Some people find it really beneficial to have someone guide them through a practice of meditation. I've recorded many meditation practices on the CD that are suitable for people wanting such a guide. One that you might want to start with is called Be Calm. It also has a short coming to your senses practice on it as well. If we're to experience our own creative source, we need to return to the stillness that's beyond the mind's constant activity. The silent observer witnesses without judgment, without comment, without preference, without resistance or aversion. Practicing meditation involves the conscious witnessing of our mind's activity. The clarity and peace of mind that you'll experience after your meditation is really what your practice is aiming to achieve. I hope you've enjoyed this series of webinars. Remember, you don't arrive at a place called peace and unpack. Peace is a moment-by-moment choice. It's a dynamic state of being in which we feel able to embrace every moment, regardless of its challenges, with a quiet mind and an open heart. If we can be of service to you or those you love, don't hesitate to be in touch. Our retreats and resources have a profound impact on people's lives and equip them with practical tools for living a meaningful life. I look forward to our paths crossing, and until then, I wish you peace and encouragement with implementing the ideas we've discussed in these webinars. And my thanks to Liz Rowell and Red Arc for making them available to you and to your colleagues and friends and your loved ones. I look forward to seeing you at some time in the future, and I wish you well in the moment.